You guys have proved that you're not mature enough to have this discussion. How you doing, Haji?
Hey, happy to be here again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is there something that you might have wanted to touch on, or
Yes, when you say
yeah, go ahead.
Islam is false, I believe Islam is the most righteous religion out there.
Righteous?
Islam teach you how to live righteously. Islam is the most scientific book you could ever see on the face of the earth.
Okay.
The scientific revelations to this day, all the scientists have proven whatever Islam had, the book has come up with in the Quran that's mentioned to this day is true. It talks about the water cycle. No other book talks about it. It talks about the Big Bang Theory. No other book talked
Gets
about it in
that
the
wrong
past.
too.
Talked about the Big Crunch theory. No other book
Gets all of that
talked about
wrong.
embryology. No other book talked about it.
Gets that
Talked
wrong.
about
Sir, sir,
the
sir.
ozone
You,
layer, the
wait,
Gets
hold
that
meteorite,
on
wrong.
a second.
iron not being from here,
Are you here to just
all of
shotgun?
that. So you guys are just here, just talking, but you have no facts whatsoever. And you bring the people that you know they're like can't even debate you. And you
Okay, can
just,
you?
yes, I can.
Okay, beautiful. So we have you here.
Then prove us what's wrong
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
sure.
book.
So you said two things, and you said two things. Now I'll let the brothers to see where they want to go with this because I'll jump in. But you said that Islam is the most righteous religion,
Yes.
and it has the most scientific book.
Tells
So
you how
whichever way y'all want to go with this,
we can go wherever you want to go. Tell me all of
I
these
just have
things
one
that I've
question.
said, it's
I'll just have
wrong.
one question for him. I just have one question.
Go ahead, brother.
Allah is the God of all the world, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you believe that during a progressive time, like after Muhammad, progressively, there would be Muslims living all around the world where they're going to be keeping the fast of Ramadan, correct?
Yes, I hope so. They do.
They're from all around the world, correct?
Yes, we hope they do.
Okay. Now, when do you begin the fast of Ramadan?
According to the moon sighting, depending on where you are, if the someone come, we
Let me
have
give you the verse, chapter 2, verse 187.
okay, I have my book in front of me. What do you want to say there?
What is that? So what does it say there?
Okay, let me open my book. Chapter 2, you said.
No
Surah
problem.
Al-Baqarah, right?
Uh-huh.
And you said verse what?
Ayah 187.
187.
No, we're not kidding you. Surah 4187.
Okay, you mean like أحلت لكم, okay, أحل لكم بيت, okay, I'll read the English version of it, okay?
Hmm.
It is made lawful for you to have sexual relationship with your wives on the night of uh, Asum, which is fast, huh? They are libas, body cover or screen or sakin, right? Enjoy the pleasure of living with them, as in the verse. For you and you are the same for them. Allah knows that you used to deceive yourselves, so He turned to you, accept your repentance and forgave you. So now have sexual relations with them and seek that which Allah has ordained to you, winning offsprings, and eat and drink until the white thread of, meaning the white thread, the light of the dawn appears to you, distinct from the black thread. Okay, then complete the psalm, which is the fast, till the night falls. Okay.
Okay.
hmm
So do you agree with this ayah?
I totally agree with it.
Okay. How would you counsel those that live in the northern and southern hemisphere?
Those 1,000 northern hemisphere, you mean like if they are like for example, if you are living somewhere in the, let's say,
Northern
Siberia or
Sweden,
whatever that is, and then you happen
northern,
to have,
not Siberia, northern Sweden, right?
Yeah, northern
Northern
Sweden, where the
Greenland,
days are fall
Iceland,
short sometimes, right?
Alaska, yeah, friend, Alaska, right?
Yes,
Where during the times of Ramadan, when it
yes.
normally falls, it's almost 23, sometimes 24 hours a day. You got
Yes,
brightness.
24 hours a day. Then
Yeah.
in that case, the ruling of Islam is whatever they agreed upon, because Allah say, "La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha." Allah doesn't tell you to do something that's beyond your capacity. If you cannot fast until from the dawn to the dusk, then you can fast. Look at the world of Islam, how people are fasting, the number of hours, and fast those hours, and Allah is going to forgive you. He did not tell you to
Okay. How
do
do we know that? How do
fast
we know
23
that?
hours, 24 hours.
Yeah,
They
friend.
have scholars. Let me tell
Yeah,
you. We just
friend. Hold
let
on,
me
but hold
speak.
on one
Let me
second.
speak.
Hold on one second. Calm down. One second. One second. The
Okay.
reason why I brought it up is
Hmm.
you would think if Allah is the God of the earth, He would have
Yes.
foreseen this issue and He would have directed it. But it shows and proves that it seems like He's the God of Mecca and Mecca alone.
No, not Mecca, Mecca alone. Let me tell you.
Okay,
Allah
Medina
talks to
too.
people who are like you, who can think for themselves. He tells you when he started the book, he said, Iqra. Okay? That's how our book started. Meanings read, do your research. And in many times, Allah talks in the book that he says he talks to people with knowledge, people that can do research, meaning ijtihad. So Islam, I mean, the book doesn't come and tell you do things
No, it actually does.
no.
Rebuff.
When you talk, I'll let you talk. Let me develop. So just
Okay.
like any book, it doesn't tell you do this A and B and C. Doesn't it's not like an instruction book where you go with A, B, and C.
Good.
Sometimes you have to use your knowledge. You have to
Okay.
use what's your mental capacity to come up with a solution. And if you guys agree upon to fast 8 hours a day or 12 hours a day, if you live in that part of the world and all of you agree up, then be it, and Allah will accept it and will forgive you. At least you've done the fast.
Who says? Yeah, who says? That's your tafsir. Chapter 16, verse 89 of the Quran. I'm going to tell you because you said that it doesn't explain the Quran does not explain everything, right?
That, that's
So hold on,
applies for every book.
hold on. Now you're talking over me. Now you're
I'm
talking over
sorry.
me,
Go ahead.
please. No problem, friend. No problem. Thank you, man. I know this can get passionate. So in chapter 16, verse 89, it says, "And the day when we will resurrect among every nation a witness over them from themselves, and we will bring you as a witness over these, and we have sent down to you the book as clarification for all things and as guidance and mercy and good tidings for the Muslims." Again, and we have sent down to you the book as clarification for all things and as a guidance and mercy and good tidings. That's chapter 16, verse 89, chapter 10, verse 37, chapter 12, verse 111. All of these verses prove that the Quran is sufficient in and of itself for all things in regards to righteousness. Chapter 6, verse 126. I mean, I can go on and on.
Yes.
So
So
on that note, when it says right here in 1689, and we have sent down to you the book as clarification for all things, as a
yes.
guidance and mercy and good tidings for the Muslims, wouldn't that agree one of the chief and main pillars of Islam, Ramadan, of when you begin to fast and when you end it?
Yes, for all things. He told you for all things. Ramadan is just one of the pillars. It doesn't mean that, okay, you have to, you leave certain parts of the world, right? And the times of the fast does, like, it's not conducive for you to do, like, let's say, like, 20 hours of fast. In that case, Allah forgives you. He gives you a way out. Just like I'm a Muslim, for example, it's forbidden for me to eat pork. It is forbidden, right? It is forbidden for me to eat pork. It is forbidden for me to take alcohol into my body. But there's circumstances. For example, I go out in a Christian country and there is nothing available but pork for me. In that case, Allah paves the way for me to eat that pork. because it's a survival matter. Okay? And he mentions it. He's gonna forgive you for doing that because it's a survival matter. Like I said in the beginning, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah doesn't tell you to
He
do
mentions
something
it though.
that
You said
beyond your
right.
means. Okay?
Yeah, you said Allah mentions it though about the pork, correct?
Yeah, he mentions it. So that means that
Beautiful. Does he
paves the way.
mention this though?
Like I
Does he
said,
mention this?
let me
Does
tell
he
you,
mention this?
he doesn't, but see that in itself, he tells you
Thank
he's
you.
talking to people with minds. So if Allah
Okay.
paves the way for you to drink and I mean to eat pork when you have no food to eat but that, why can't he allow you to fast 20 hours? No. Why can't he allow you to fast maybe 15 hours of the day or 12 hours of the day and then break your fast?
All right. Thanks for
It's
your answer,
simple.
man.
It's
Appreciate
very
it.
simple. Very
It is
simple.
simple. It is. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
No, don't dodge the question. Keep coming. I have so many
No,
answers
no,
for
I'm
you.
good. Maybe my brother, doctor, or somebody else wants to say something. I'm good,
Yeah.
bro. That's all. I just had that question. Thank you.
These are like minor things that you guys focus on and you try to make it a big problem. This is not a problem to me. Prove me wrong on other things. Islam is the only religion that we're able to eradicate, will tell you to live righteously. No interest, which is not good usually. Don't drink alcohol. How many people die every day as a result of alcohol? Yet we criminalize weed and other things, but so many of you, how many houses got shattered because of alcohol drinking? Huh? How many relationships got shattered due to that? Islam tells you, no, don't do it.
How many relationships are shattered and how many people are hurt when you engage in sexuality with prepubescent girls?
Ooh.
What you said again? When you engage in what?
And engaging in sexuality with prepubescent girls.
What you mean prepubescent girls? Can you make it? My English is not that because I'm African. So
Children.
children.
Those
Who had sex with children?
your people. The people.
No, don't say your people. I never had sex with children.
I'm
You
saying-
overgeneralizing. We
Hold
got
on.
rapists in the Christian community.
Hold on now. This is the people who are following Islam.
Hey, real quick.
Go
You
to-
have to say rapist. You have to say
Great. I'm
correct.
sorry. I'm sorry about that again. Sorry for my language.
I
Right.
might have to kick him and bring him back up, though.
Yes.
You have to.
Could you drop and come back?
No,
Right. So,
don't drop me. Let's continue
No,
the conversation.
you have to drop and come back because that word isn't allowed on TikTok.
right. So what we're gonna do when you come back is we're gonna go to Surah 65:4. We're gonna go to the text and we're gonna go to the tafsir. Yeah, we can hear you.
The surah that you're quoting, it is about divorce and marriage, and this surah in specific has nothing to do with someone who's a child. It is basically trying to explain to you is that if you have married someone or then haven't touched them, they do not have a waiting period to get remarried. However, if you have engaged in sexual activities, then the person has to wait either if she's pregnant or if she hasn't menstruated yet, a 3-month or a 12-month period so that the father is known when they do give birth, so that she doesn't marry someone else and then have that
You make sure
so that's what the surah is. But there's another thing which is very, very popular and a lot of people talk about it, is that the Prophet married a young woman, right? Or more people say child, right?
Well, he
So-
married Aisha, who is 9 years
So
old.
here's the explanation, and I'll try to explain it as good as possible. And
We can get to that.
Yeah.
We can get to that. But we're specifically focusing on Surah 65:4.
yeah, Surah 65:4 is talking about adult women or women that have menstruated. It's not about children.
Well, let's.
The reason why you don't see it is because you need to go to back in the surah and take the whole context of the surah, not take only the middle part, because the Quran works in a way where it's the whole surah needs to be read to be understood. I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just trying to explain to you that surah in specific. That's how it works.
So it's only this surah that needs to be taken in the entire chapter.
No, no, I'm saying the Quran in general, because there's some places in the Quran, for example, it will tell you go to war and kill, for example, right? But if you take it in the middle of the surah, then it doesn't make sense, and it'd be quoted out of context where, oh yeah, he said go kill. And that's what people like ISIS do, right? But then when you read the whole surah, you go like, okay, so he said there was a war, this is what happened, this is why he allowed it to happen. You understand what I mean?
Well, this is why we don't just simply read the passage, we go to the tafsir. Because your scholars tell us the context of these passages and the meaning of them. So like Tafsir al-Jalalain. And it says that this waiting period is for women who have not menstruated yet because of their young age. And even then, if you don't like Tafsir al-Jalalain, we can go to Ibn Kathir. Here's what Ibn Kathir says.
We could pull out the surah together. What number is it?
65:4.
65 verse 4, correct?
How are you coming to explain a passage that you don't know the actual text of?
I was
the
just thinking that.
Because I know it in Arabic, like I've read the Quran, obviously, but I do not know the numbers in specific. Does that make sense?
So here, I'll just read Ibn Kathir.
No problem.
Because he knows the meaning of this passage then.
Well, if you really want to stick to one person telling you that, sure, but we can go through that. Go ahead.
I mean, this is the second one that I've read. We could go through all the tafsir.
Because like I speak Arabic and I can read it to you from Arabic to English, and there's a word that's very, very like prominent in that. It says nisa. Nisa means woman. It does not mean children.
Nisa simply means female. It can refer to any one of the female sex in any age. This is why the text clarifies who it is.
No, I'm telling you as an Arab. Nisa means
with all due respect, Lapute, we've gone through this before. We've seen people try to go to the magic Arabic and say, well, Nisa just simply means woman. It doesn't. It means female, and we've done this over and over and over again. So let's simply read what your scholar said. Because they not only knew the actual context, they knew the Arabic, and they know what it means. So let's read.
Can I show you something? Is that okay with you? Can I show you something so you could see what I'm talking about?
How about I show you what I'm talking about here?
Well, yes, I'm showing you like
looking at it here.
You know them, right?
So here. First preliminary question, why are you so afraid for us going to Ibn Kathir?
I do not know who is Ibn Kathir, but we could go through it.
You don't know who Ibn Kathir is?
No, I actually do not know.
Well, how do you know Islam?
I follow my Quran for the most part, and then
you're only Muslim?
No, so I follow the Quran, and if there's some things that are in doubt, that is when I go to tafsirs of the Prophet's sayings to make myself more aware, if that makes sense. For example, like the person you were talking to the person before, saying, sorry, it wasn't you, it was your friend, saying that the Quran explains everything to detail. That is not true. No, the Quran doesn't tell us exactly how to pray. That comes from the Prophet. So we follow that and how we pray from the Prophet, right? So there's certain things that you have to look at the Quran, certain things you have to see for further detail from the Prophet.
Do you know who Ibn Taymiyyah is?
I'm probably one of the people that wrote, what do you call it, translated the Quran to English or something, or made the meanings of the Quran more visible for people, I guess.
No, he's a commentator.
Okay.
So here, he's one of the most respected scholars in Islam. So this is what Ibn Kathir says, because he collects even the commentaries from Ibn Abbas.
Okay.
So here, listen to what Ibn Kathir says. This is his commentary. Allah the Exalted clarifies the waiting period of the women in menopause. And this is the one whose menstruation has stopped due to her older age. Her iddah is 3 months instead of 3 monthly cycles for those who menstruate, which is based upon the ayat in Surah Al-Baqarah, see Surah 2:28, as we read earlier. The same for the young who have not reached the years of menstruation. Their iddah is 3 months, like those in menopause. This is the meaning of the saying. And for those who have no courses, as for his saying. And so he says, these were among those who have menopause. And he again says, for those who are pregnant and those who don't have their iddah yet. I mean, those who don't have the years of menstruation. It's because they're too young. We saw this in Tafsir Jalalain. We could see it in Ibn Kathir. We could look through all the others. So both of these are saying, they interpret the verse as saying, for those who have not reached the age of puberty, their iddah is 3 months.
I understand what you're saying. Again, looking this on Google, the first, like you write Surah 65, verse 4 on Google, and then click on the first thing, which is the Legacy Quran translation and commentators. This is exactly what it says. And those for who no longer expect menstruation among your women, if you're in doubt, the period is 3 months, and so on goes there. It does not mention someone who has not reached their period.
What does the next line say? What does the next line say?
If you're in doubt when they're in period is 3 months, and also who's have not menstruated, and for those who are pregnant, their term
you're going too fast.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
It mentioned the part where it talks about those who have not menstruated, right?
Right.
So those are the ones who are young.
That's literally what it commentated on here.
So here's the thing, right? When you go and say, oh, he's talking about specifically children, the problem is, you don't, in Arabic, when you translate it, it's still talking about women. It does not talk about kids, right? So,
well, no, you'd be wrong. You'd be wrong because here, let me explain.
Yeah,
because as the text says, it's not talking about women. It's talking about those who have not reached the years of menstruation, as Ibn Kathir says.
yeah, but the problem is, here's the thing, right?
Ibn Kathir knew the meaning of the word nisa, but he said that this is about people who have not reached the years of menstruation. So what are the years of menstruation?
But that's the thing. What I'm trying to explain to you is that you're talking about this guy, right, in specific, because he's well known in the Muslim world or whatever it is. But the problem is there's so many of them, and that's why we have between Muslims themselves, Muslim Shias, Sunnas, there's so many different parts of Islam, right? Or sectors like how you guys have in Christianity, where you have Catholics, Orthodox, and Protestants, and so on, because every part of the people follows something that they want, right? And that's where we get some people that are extremely extreme and some people that are extremely lenient, right? So that's a problem. You're holding on to a person that said this, and just because he said this, it is the right thing.
Do any of your
hello guys.
Sorry?
Do any of your sects of Islam disagree with Ibn Kathir and say that he's not a scholar?
I do not know.
Say that he's not a respected scholar.
Or that he's wrong on this.
Right.
I would imagine there's people that do disagree and people that do agree, but the problem is, again, I take the Quran as word to word. Like one thing, if you prove your point.
Let's try to, like, because man, arguing and who's authoritative, yada yada yada, gets us nowhere. We understand from Islamic understanding everywhere that we go. It's not just one guy that Ibn Kathir. It's literally the jurisprudence, Islamic law that understands it this way. That it's talking about children, gives a law on why it's allowed, and uses this as an example, as its proof, and Muhammad's example with his marriage with Aisha and his consummation with her.
Correct.
So these are the proofs that the jurisprudence uses to validate that child relations is allowed in Islam.